In a world of many faces, the deepest pain often comes not from poverty or loneliness, but from misjudging a person. A wrong road can be corrected, but misplaced trust may leave wounds that last a lifetime. Some appear gentle and kind at first, yet when interests and advantage arise, their true nature is revealed. Others seem blunt or awkward, but with time, their quiet integrity and sense of responsibility become clear. Life is ironic. What we see is not always the truth of the heart, and what we hear is not always the whole story. Bodhidharma taught that before learning to see others, we must learn to see ourselves. Desire clouds our vision, fear distorts our judgment, and ego blinds the eyes. To understand a person, words are not enough. Only time, adversity, and silence reveal the truth. Seeing clearly is not to judge or harden the heart, but to know where to stand and where to place one's trust. A clear mind and a gentle heart, used wisely, protect us without closing us off. Slow down before believing, before reacting, before giving your heart away. Do not lose faith because of one mistake. Simply learn to see more clearly. When the mind is calm, the world reflects itself honestly. When the mind is confused, everything appears unclear. People often believe that understanding others comes from sharp eyes, experience, and social skill. Yet the deeper truth is this: if the mind is not clear, no one can be seen clearly. The eyes do not see through sight alone, but through the state of the heart behind them. When the heart is filled with longing, we see people through what we lack. A kind word feels like truth. Attention feels like sincerity. When fear takes over, even genuine kindness appears suspicious. When the ego grows large, we only trust those who please us and reject those who challenge us. In these moments, it is not others who deceive us. Our own mind does. Bodhidharma taught that to see the world, one must first cleanse the mirror of the mind. A clouded mirror reflects everything inaccurately. Desire leads us to trust sweet words. Anger makes us reject the upright. Ignorance makes us believe illusions, and attachment causes us to misjudge the innocent. Understanding others is ultimately a reflection of ourselves. A restless mind rushes to judgment. A clear mind allows truth to appear on its own. When the mind is still, people reveal themselves naturally, like the moon reflected on a calm autumn lake. This is not a lesson in suspicion, but in awareness. Before trying to read others, learn to settle the mind. Only then does the journey of truly understanding people begin. In life, 3 moments reveal a person most clearly: when benefit is divided, when loyalty is required, and when adversity arrives. People can hide behind gentle words and polite behavior, but when gain and loss are involved, every disguise grows thin. As Bodhidharma said, the mind is like water. When still, it appears clear. When stirred, it reveals what lies beneath. True character is not seen in smiles at a banquet, but in how much one is willing to yield when interests collide. Money does not corrupt, it exposes. Those who cannot remain steady over small gains will not uphold loyalty in greater trials. When success surrounds us, many gather close. When misfortune comes, only a few remain. Those who stay when there is nothing left to gain are the ones who truly belong. Those who leave were never meant to walk the long road with us. Adversity does not create character. It reveals it, like fire separating true gold from what only appears to shine. Those who endure storms yet keep gentleness in their eyes have deep roots. Those who grow angry at the first loss or turn away at the slightest hardship are not meant for a long road together. Interest and gain are the clearest mirrors of character because they are the hardest to fake. Words can deceive, and even small actions can mislead. But how a person responds to loss rarely lies. Bodhidharma taught us not to fear people changing, but to fear that we have not seen deeply enough. To see clearly, observe not how someone treats you when you are useful, but how they treat those who can offer them nothing. True character shows itself in quiet moments, in how one speaks to the waiter, the cleaner, the weak, or the mistaken. A person of real integrity does not divide respect by status. Whether before power or poverty, their manner remains the same. Humility toward the powerless reveals depth of heart. Harshness toward them reveals shallowness. To see a person's roots, look not upward, but downward. Understanding people does not require cleverness, only attention to ordinary moments. Notice how they treat the cleaner, the server, the powerless. Do they offer respect when there is nothing to gain? True kindness does not perform. It appears as naturally as breath. A genuinely good person never makes those weaker than them feel small. A clear heart does not humiliate. If you meet such a person, cherish them. If not, keep your distance. Trust is tested not by beautiful words, but by whether promises are kept. Time alone reveals this, and time never takes sides. As Bodhidharma taught, when the heart is false, even honest words deceive. When the heart is true, even silence carries trust. Those who promise easily and fail repeatedly reveal their disregard for integrity. Those who speak little yet act faithfully live by their word. For them, keeping a promise is not appearance, but principle. Small promises reveal great character. One who cannot keep time or honor small words will not be reliable in larger matters. Habitual dishonesty darkens the heart, one small lie at a time. A sincere heart creates lasting goodness. One who values integrity carries a quiet, enduring light. Even brief encounters reveal them through cooperation, support, and reliability when no one else can be trusted. Bodhidharma said, "The trustworthy, even if poor, are respected. The untrustworthy, even if rich, are lonely." Integrity is tested over time, not by words, but by actions. A person who keeps promises acts consistently, quietly, without show. One who breaks small commitments cannot be trusted with greater matters. Money is the clearest mirror of character. It reveals greed, kindness, virtue, and maturity. Some change when they gain wealth, valuing status over people. Others spend with awareness, generosity, and respect, giving appropriately to others and themselves. True generosity is seen in how someone treats the weak, helps the needy, and cares for parents, not in flashy gestures. Those who are kind for convenience, or only when they gain, reveal a shallow heart. How one handles money, keeps promises, and honors relationships, big or small, reflects the depth of their character. Those who are consistent, thoughtful, and compassionate possess a light that no wealth can buy. Bodhidharma said, "Hold too tightly, and you lose. Let go too loosely, and you harm. A contented heart is truly rich." Those who spend wisely neither waste nor suffocate life. They act from need, purpose, and quiet joy. Those who spend to impress or prove themselves reveal emptiness beneath luxury. How we use money reflects the heart. The greedy inflate ego. The kind uplift others. The wise invest in the future. The blessed sow blessings. True character shows when advantage disappears. Benefit is a thin veil. When gone, the mind is revealed. Some drift away when you fail, only valuing what you provide. Others stay, asking only if you are okay. These moments reveal the depth of the soul. Shallow people follow gain. The profound value you for who you are. Many relationships crumble not from calamity, but when advantage fades and indifference surfaces. Presence in hardship, not in profit, is the truest measure of character. Bodhidharma taught that to recognize a truly blessed person, observe how they behave when others have nothing left. A person of true blessing never turns away from those who have once treated them well. They do not calculate gain or loss when another is in decline. They understand the impermanence of life. Today someone may need you, tomorrow you may need them. The great compassion Bodhidharma emphasizes lies in seeing people not through benefit, but through understanding. Yet some reveal hidden malice when you no longer offer them advantage. They speak sarcastically, show contempt, or even rejoice in your misfortune. To them, you exist only as a measure to feel superior. When you fall, they finally stand above, living through envy, never genuinely happy for another's joy. When observing people, remember, anyone can appear kind when there is benefit. When benefit is gone, only those with true loyalty remain. Lasting relationships are not built on happy days, but on how two people treat each other through hardship. When life shifts, those who truly value you stay. Those who saw you only as a means vanish when you lose your worth. Time is the fairest test, and the loss of benefit is its most revealing moment. If someone changes toward you only when you no longer provide gain, do not grieve. See it as life's gift, a gift named truth. Better to recognize it early than suffer later. Bodhidharma taught, gain and loss are fate, but maintaining loyalty is blessing. One who remains loyal when you fall is worth befriending. One who remains kind when you have nothing is worth keeping. One who stays when you have nothing left is rare in life. Some can use words to hide what they do not wish others to see, but their reaction to truth cannot be faked. Words can be rehearsed, attitudes acted, smiles performed, but truth is like a mirror reflecting the inner heart. When truth appears, whether welcome or not, character is revealed. Bodhidharma said, "A sincere mind sees reality. A deluded mind fears reality." The more someone fears truth, the more restless their heart. Some react with anger to inconvenient truths. A gentle word of feedback may feel like an offense. When truth touches pride, anger erupts. But anger is only the outer shell of inner weakness. The strong do not avoid the truth. They face it, even when it is uncomfortable. The weak seek every way to deny it, blur it, or blame others. How someone reacts to feedback reveals their level of maturity. The mature listen, even when the truth is unpleasant. They understand that pain can be a teacher, helping them grow. The immature, however, protect the ego. They resist hearing the truth not because it is wrong, but because they fear confronting their own ignorance, flaws, or selfishness. Some immediately justify themselves after hearing the truth. "I am like this because of circumstances. I'm hot-tempered but kind. Everyone must tolerate me." Such excuses are merely shields for a fragile ego. Those who truly wish to improve never make excuses. They act, because change is the only way to escape their own darkness. Those who fear truth often live in illusions. They prefer praise over correction, flattery over honest advice. Sweet words are easy to hear, but they can trap a person in self-deception. Harsh truths, though difficult to accept, are what prevent us from going astray. Those who value honest feedback are rare, but they walk a clear, straight path. Some twist the truth when it does not favor them. When wrong, they refuse to admit it. When failing, they blame others. When corrected, they attack. Not because they cannot discern right from wrong, but because pride makes them unable to face being less than others. Such arrogance stifles wisdom. Bodhidharma taught, "Those who see their own mistakes are wise. Those who see only others' mistakes are deluded." The wise do not flee from truth, for truth is not an enemy. It is a map. It shows the way forward, revealing what to let go, what to keep, and what to nurture. Truth never breaks a person. Only an oversized ego is wounded. How one receives truth reveals their wisdom, heart, and readiness for the long journey. The kind speak truth with compassion. The wise accept it without ego, and the heartfelt use it to correct themselves. Lasting bonds require courage to speak honestly and humility to listen. True character is shown in how someone treats those who can offer nothing in return: servers, guards, street vendors, or strangers. A broad mind sees everyone as worthy of love. A narrow mind judges all. Those truly blessed remain respectful and sincere to all, understanding that each person carries their own unseen struggles. Kindness is not measured by gain, but by heart. A truly blessed person never looks down on others. They know that worth is not in appearances, but in the heart. They do not pressure the weak or vent their frustration on those who cannot fight back. understanding that hurting others only impoverishes the soul. Blessing is not found in what one gains, but in what one gives. A smile, patience, quiet respect, or a small kindness done without notice. These unseen acts shape a lifetime. True character appears when no one is watching. Courtesy performed for praise is easy. Goodness kept in solitude is rare. Those who act rightly without witnesses carry a bright heart, and such light needs no display. Bodhidharma taught that true purity comes from within. Outward cleanliness is only dust arranged neatly. It is easy to appear good through words and manners, but inner clarity requires overcoming ego, greed, and weakness. A trustworthy person is guided by self-respect, self-discipline, and self-reflection. They do what is right without supervision, effort without applause, and correction without excuses. Reputation is not built on public promises, but on silent actions when no one is watching. True character is revealed not on the stage, but backstage, when there is no benefit to gain and no eyes to impress. Many gather in joy, but only the sincere remain in hardship. How one responds to another's suffering exposes the depth of their heart. Indifference shows emptiness. Judgment sharpens wounds, but quiet presence heals. The kind ask, "Are you okay?" The wise ask, "How can I help?" And that simple difference reveals everything. Bodhidharma taught that to feel stirred by another's suffering is compassion. To see suffering and remain cold is ignorance. We are not asked to carry the pain of the whole world, but we must never become indifferent. Those who ignore others' suffering will one day ignore their own conscience. Those who know how to care will find support when they themselves are broken. How a person treats others' pain is how they will one day treat yours. This is the measure of true companionship. Kindness is not tested in comfort, but in anger. Anyone can be gentle when life is smooth. Character appears when pride is touched and emotions rise. The mature person governs their anger instead of being governed by it. They pause before speaking, choose calm over victory, and understand that not every truth needs to be won. Silence, at times, is the highest wisdom. To keep the heart steady in the fire, that is true strength. Bodhidharma taught, when the mind is clear, adversity becomes ease. When the mind is chaotic, even favorable conditions turn hostile. Those who anger easily live in suffering, pulled endlessly by their own emotions. Those who can calm the mind live lightly, for they do not allow the outer world to rule the inner one. Anger carries 3 poisons. It turns words into knives, wounding those we love most. It darkens reason, leading us to act in ways we later regret. And it makes us victims of ourselves, hurting us more than anyone else. The mature understand that not everyone deserves their anger, and not every insult requires a response. The deeper the person, the less they rage. The wiser the person, the less they argue. How one controls anger is how one preserves their blessings. Each loss of control diminishes them. Each moment of calm restores them. To know who is worthy of walking with you, observe them when they are angry. One who masters anger masters life. One who cannot will lose much before realizing it. True kindness is not shown when a person is strong, but when you are weak. When advantage disappears, when you fail, are misunderstood, or stand alone, character is revealed. Some grow distant when you fall, seeing no reason to remain kind. Others stay quietly beside you, asking for nothing, saying only, "I'm here." Such people are rare, and meeting one is a lifelong blessing. True kindness never relies on power. The genuinely kind do not dominate the weak, raise their voice to prove strength, or wound others to protect ego. They understand that strength is not in being louder, but in knowing when to stop. Bodhidharma taught, to feel compassion for the weak is goodness. To exploit the weak is evil. Life shifts quickly. Today strong, tomorrow fallen. In those moments, we learn how precious quiet kindness truly is. Kindness shown only when you are strong is conditional. Kindness shown when you are weak is character. To know who is worth trusting, wait until you are at a disadvantage. There, truth appears. Great character is revealed not in grand moments, but in small temptations, easy gains, careless words, unseen actions. Small corruptions do not build wealth, but they expose the heart. A good person is not one without opportunity to do wrong, but one who chooses not to, again and again, even when no one is watching. Small wrongs, repeated, quietly erode character. A minor lie becomes habit. Conscience thins until truth and falsehood blur. Bodhidharma taught that only those who remain upright when alone can stand firm in the world. Character reveals itself in small temptations, unseen moments, and silent choice. Some trade kindness for advantage, others protect the heart over the ego. What seems insignificant is what shapes destiny. Failure shows who leaves, but success reveals even more. True companions rejoice in your joy without envy, knowing another's light does not dim their own. Such people are rare and worth a lifetime. A person with a clear and generous heart will truly rejoice when you succeed. They do not measure your success against their own life, nor search for reasons to diminish your worth. They do not dismiss it as mere luck, nor create distance to protect a wounded ego. They stand beside you without needing to prove anything. They allow you to shine without fearing that they will fade. Bodhidharma taught, with a small mind, another's joy becomes one's suffering. With a great mind, another's joy becomes one's blessing. Envy is not born of hatred, but of refusal. The refusal to accept that someone else has risen higher. It grows from fear of falling behind. Envy is a sign of inner poverty. Poverty not of wealth, but of wisdom and compassion. Those who are sincere are different. They see your success as proof that effort has meaning. They do not feel pressured by it. They are inspired. They do not see competition. They see light. More importantly, they do not change their attitude toward you just because your status has changed. A person worth keeping is one who came to you when you had nothing, did not abandon you when you failed, and still smiles when you succeed. By contrast, some leave when you suffer, fall silent when you are in pain, and grow envious when you shine. They walk beside you only as long as they believe you are equal. Once you move ahead, they no longer wish to stay. So if you wish to understand the human heart, do not wait for misfortune. Look at success. Success reveals who is genuinely happy for you, who is merely polite, who stands with you, and who stays close only out of fear of being left behind. Success does not only lift you up, it also quietly filters your life. There is a truth we all come to learn with age. Not every relationship should be kept, and not everyone who was once close is meant to walk with you for the long road ahead. Hearts change over time, and so does your own through experience. Like a garden, some branches must be pruned for flowers to bloom, some weeds removed for the soil to become fertile again. Human relationships are the same. To keep the mind clear and calm, one must step away from connections that weigh the heart down instead of lifting it. Bodhidharma taught that if you seek inner peace, do not stand in strong winds. Strong winds are not only life's storms, but also people who carry restlessness, envy, and inner turbulence. Stay near them long enough, and your own mind will not remain at ease. Some people grow increasingly judgmental with time, constantly comparing, probing your life to fill the emptiness of their own. Some appear only when they need you, and disappear when you struggle. Some speak of care, while secretly wishing to see you fall, so they may feel less small. Keeping such people close only exhausts the heart, leaving the mind tangled and heavy without knowing why. One day, you will understand. Inner clarity is not about having many friends, but about having the courage to release relationships that no longer carry the energy of peace. A relationship that constantly demands explanations or makes you walk on eggshells is not a connection, but a burden. True companionship allows you to be yourself without fear of judgment, uplifts through sincerity rather than comparison, and stands by you in both joy and hardship. Those who drain your heart with a few words are meant to be released. Those who bring peace simply by their presence are meant to stay. Peace begins when you have the courage to step away from what no longer aligns with your spirit, and to keep near those who uplift rather than weigh you down. Bodhidharma taught, to keep the mind unmoved, choose carefully where to stand. To avoid suffering, choose wisely whom to stay near. Life's unrest is rarely caused by others, but by our desire to control what cannot be controlled. We cannot make others act as we wish, nor force them to see or care as we do. The only mastery lies in the mind we hold. The strong pause, breathe, and remain unmoved by what is not theirs to carry, while the weak are swept by every insult, criticism, or disappointment. True strength is shown not in reaction, but in restraint, not in proving oneself, but in preserving peace and clarity within. Those who stand by you when you are weak and rejoice without envy when you shine are the rare souls who make life lighter. brighter, and whole. You cannot force others to be polite, but you can maintain your own calm. You cannot make others love you rightly, but you can deepen your love for yourself. You cannot stop others from hurting you, but you can learn to stand where their reach cannot touch. When someone seeks to argue, you have the right to remain silent. When someone drags you into their chaos, you have the right to abstain. When someone tries to impose their thoughts, you have the right to step back so your mind remains free. True strength does not lie in controlling others, but in not letting anyone control your emotions. And then you will feel a great lightness. When you stop demanding that others be a certain way, your heart naturally expands. When you no longer try to change anyone, you begin to understand them. When you stop forcing life to fit your will, it flows like clouds across the sky. Real power is never in loud words, harsh commands, or control. It is in silence at the right moment, in the ability to keep your mind steady and your heart unshaken. When you master yourself, the world loses its power to hurt you. In the end, after every clash and every wound, when you stand on your own, you realize a simple truth that often takes half a lifetime to learn. The most important thing is not winning or losing, not gaining or losing, but preserving a mind that remains unmoved. What others say matters less than how you respond. How others act matters less than whether you let your heart be carried away by their emotions. External storms pass, but the turbulence within can drown us if we do not learn to steer. Bodhidharma taught, when the mind is stirred, all things are stirred. When the mind is calm, all things are calm. Peace does not come when life is free of storms, but when you have the inner strength to stand amid them without faltering. By letting go of what does not deserve to be held, by stepping away from relationships that disturb your peace, by remaining silent in the face of hurtful words, and by standing firm through passing emotions, you find your true strength. Each of us has our own path, our own lessons, our own pain, and our own light. No one needs to be like anyone else, and no one has the right to impose. What we can do is cultivate calm, understand ourselves, and care for ourselves. Then we see, when the mind is clear, the path opens. When the heart is at peace, life itself begins to heal. If this message brings you even a small sense of calm, companionship, or the reassurance that you are not alone, take a moment to breathe slowly. Place your hand on your chest and feel your heartbeat ease with each breath. That is peace, always within you, quietly waiting. Tomorrow, when you return, we will continue together on the path of the mind and life, exploring the timeless lessons of the ancients, letting each day feel a little lighter, leaving only a clear mind, a gentle heart, and a life full from within. Among all measures of trustworthiness, integrity always comes first. Words can charm, actions can deceive, but only time reveals whether a person keeps their promises. Bodhidharma taught that a mind not true makes even truthful words hollow. A disciplined mind makes silence trustworthy. Some speak beautifully, promising freely, Yet when it comes to acting, excuses arise again and again. Others speak little, promise cautiously, but once committed, they follow through regardless of circumstances. Integrity is not a display for others. It is a personal principle. How someone honors small promises reflects how they will act when stakes are higher. Habitual disregard for small commitments reveals a deeper disregard for truth, which eventually erodes character. Punctuality, reliability, honesty, all small signs of a person's inner light. Those who honor their word illuminate trust, even in brief encounters, showing they can be relied upon when it truly matters. Bodhidharma said, "A person of integrity, even if poor, is respected. A person of broken trust, even if rich, remains alone." Loneliness grows as relationships drift away and opportunities fade. No one builds a future with someone whose words carry no weight. True integrity is not measured by others' recognition, but by whether one's heart stands firm. Those who keep their word remain calm, needing no repetition. The untrustworthy are always scrambling to explain, cover up, or patch mistakes. Integrity is quiet and unassuming, following a person like a shadow and never leaving them empty-handed. Money, like power, tests the heart. It can reveal greed, generosity, and character. Some change when wealth arrives, growing arrogant, dismissive, and materialistic, while others remain kind and mindful, spending wisely, giving thoughtfully, and setting healthy boundaries. True generosity lies not in the size of the gift, but in the respect and care behind it. A compassionate heart can uplift the vulnerable even with a small act, while a cold heart treats resources like stones, heavy and lifeless. A person's true nature shows most clearly in these small choices: how they handle money, how they treat those weaker, and whether their actions match their words. Integrity and kindness are revealed not in grand gestures, but in quiet consistency, in the respect for others, and in the ability to act rightly when no one is watching. Those who live with such mindfulness carry a light that never dims, guiding both themselves and those fortunate enough to walk beside them. In the end, the measure of a life is not in wealth, fame, or power, but in the steadfastness of one's heart. Cultivate integrity, act with kindness, and honor the small moments. They are the true reflections of character. Live in such a way that your presence quietly uplifts, and your absence leaves no doubt of the light you carried.